What's going on, everybody? Jada Black here. I'm back with another video. I want to talk about this recent interview Kelis has done. She hasn't done very many interviews, and the only thing that we know about Kelis is the fact that she continuously goes back and forth to court for more money from Nas. That's the only reason why she has stayed. Her name has stayed in the public eye, because she hasn't made any music recently. She's doing other things outside of music, but she does this interview with Hollywood Unlocked. They interview her at her house, the house that Nas is paying for, and they're talking. And I will say this about Kelis. Kelis is very good at projecting an image of herself that makes her seem normal, together, and believable. And if you look at the comments on that particular interview, and when she started talking about Nas and the alleged abuse, I'm saying alleged, even though she even said in the interview, and I think a lot of people in the comment section missed this, she said that they were fighting a lot. She never said that he abused her. She said it was abuse, but then she walked it back and said that they were fighting each other. She said herself that she didn't allow him to just, hit her whenever, But if you look at the comment section, they make it as if Nas was he was Ike Turner. I mean, you would look at the comment section and think that Nas was Ike Turnering Kelis, and then Kelis talked about how they were drinking and partying and basically partying it up, spending money, living a high life, and then it changed, And she talked about how she filed for divorce when she was pregnant with their child, and ever since then they've been separated. Now that child is over the age of 10, I believe. I think the child is like 8 or 9 years old. So they've been separated for a long time. And my thing is this: I'm not saying that Kelis is lying, but I want to know this: why did it take her so long to do the particular type of interview? Why did it take her so long to speak on this? Why is she waiting till when he puts out an album to want to now speak about this alleged abuse? Because it's still alleged, because it's her side, and just this overall with this interview, she basically, I believe, is doing this because, as she said, Nas is obsessed with his image and she doesn't care. She doesn't care because she doesn't have a career. She has nothing as far as publicly, so she can say whatever and no one will bat an eye because no one is checking for Kelis. I'm sorry. Even though the dude who's interviewing her was a super fan, at the end of the day, nobody's checking for Kelis's music. That's why she's able to say what she's saying now. She feels like she's getting payback on him because she feels like he dragged her name through the mud. Excuse me, you've been taking him back and forth to court for child support, ma'am. You've been trying to up the child support money. I don't care what city you live in. Child support is for the child. It's not for you. And what it seems like to me is that you have women who think child support is supposed to be for rent, is supposed to be for their lifestyle, is supposed to be for their car payments, for them to go shopping. No, that is not your money. Okay? Some women can't even get $50 a week in child support. You're getting $8 grand or more a month, and that's not enough. It's not enough for you because you have an expensive lifestyle. You like to spend money. Okay? You living in a house that Nas's money is paying for. Let's be real about this. The guy that Kelis is allegedly with, somebody said that she was married, even though she's keeping that guy secret because he don't want to be in the mess, because he probably knows how crazy she is. Now she wants to talk about how bad of a guy he is because she has nothing to lose. She has absolutely nothing to lose. And we have seen when women have nothing to lose, they're willing to bring down anybody. Why do you think all these women, these side pieces of all these male celebrities are so eager to put them on blast? Because they have nothing to lose. They had everything to gain. And looking at this interview, this woman literally said that she's not afraid to throw a punch. If he starts something, she's going to end it. Does that sound like an abuse victim to me? That sounds like a female who's used to being in relationships where it is completely dysfunctional, where she's having to fist fight. She never once said that she was a victim. But y'all want to treat her like she's one. Y'all want to treat her like, you know, she, again, is being Ike Turnered. Which is not the case at all. Because if you listen to her, she was participating in the drinking and probably the drug doing as well. She was participating in it. Okay. In this interview, she tried to basically debunk the fact that Nas is a good father, that he's in the child's life. She talked about how up until 2012, Nas wasn't paying any support. But what she fails to mention is that the child was born in 2009, 2010. So she basically was taking care of the child for 2 years by herself before the courts or Nas decided to financially support it. Maybe because she ran to a different city and probably didn't tell Nas where she was going. Again, she even said herself that Nas had to find out where the child was going to school because she would not tell him. That woman was scoring, man. Let's just be real. She was scoring. Okay? But women feel so empowered now to just say whatever they want to say because they know they're going to get people to believe it. Because you have a lot of gullible people out here who are so quick to believe a female who's crying crocodile tears, okay, on a situation that she was not a victim in. Okay, she said that she throws punches, man. Come on, man. In this situation, man, it just seems to me like I think Nas and Kelis actually was a good couple. Because if Nas was as, you know, violent towards her, well, she absorbed the violence. She participated in it. She said they fought. She never said that he just used her as a punching bag, you know? And now she thinks that it's the right time to milk him for child support money. She's milking him for child support money because one, the guy she's with ain't making no money. And two, she's still the breadwinner in the relationship. I told y'all about these females who are the breadwinners in their relationships. They could talk about leveling up all they want to. The proof is in doing, not saying. And you have a lot of females who are saying and they're not doing, okay? Because if Kelis was with a man who made a lot of money, who was successful, she wouldn't have to go back and forth to child support court to get more money to take care of her household. The guy she's with will be doing it, but he can't because he doesn't make as much as she does. Let's just get that straight, okay? And she's only doing this interview because she feels like he's making her look bad. So who doesn't care about their image? She literally then says towards the tail end of the interview that he's dragging her name through the mud. This is why she's doing an interview. But you said you didn't care. So if you didn't care about him dragging your name through the mud and you say he's obsessed with his image, wouldn't that make Nas look bad if he constantly has to go to the media and say, listen, this one won't let me see my son. She keeps going back and forth the child support to try to get money I don't have. How does that make him look? You think that's all image? If it was about image, he wouldn't have said anything publicly. He's making public pleas because you won't let him see your son. If Nas was the way that you describe him being to you, trust me, you're not going to keep it cordial. I'm sorry. I don't believe a word of what she's saying as far as being cordial. You said the guy was abusive. how in the world are you gonna be cordial with somebody who you're claiming was abusive? Stop. Just stop, Kelis. Stop. And you got all them simps and Captain Save-A-Holes in the comments section talking about they no longer support Nas. These are the type of guys who will date Kelis, and then Kelis will end up using them, manipulating them, being argumentative, probably putting hands on them because they're too weak to really be men and understand when they're being played. She talking about how she trying to keep it cordial with Nas, but in the same token, you don't want to be anywhere near him, so you move from New York to California. You don't ask him for a dime for child support, but then complaining he's not paying child support. So which one is it, Kelis? Which one is it? Either you want child support or you don't. Because trust me, if you're not going to court to file paperwork for child support, you're not going to get a dime. That's the facts. You can't claim years later, oh, he didn't pay anything. I didn't ask him for anything and he didn't pay anything. That's because, Kelis, you didn't ask for anything. You probably still had some money, okay? And you're probably living off of that. And I bet you thought you was going to do better after you broke up with Nas, and that hasn't been the case. And ever since then, as the years have gone by, you've become more and more bitter because you have not been able to do better than Nas. And I think that bothers you every single day. The fact that you're living in a household that he pays for. Now, I know some of y'all not going to like this commentary, but these are facts. This woman waited until 2018 to speak on this. We've been hearing about this situation with her and Nas since last year, 2017. Ever since he started dating Nicki Minaj. Ever since he started dating Nicki Minaj, you've been hearing about Kelis being very, very difficult to co-parent with. Because I feel like she's jealous. I really do. Because even though they haven't been together for a long time, he's still able to get with Nicki Minaj, and she's dating some no-name guy who's living in her house. She hasn't been able to upgrade at all. Now, maybe when they broke up at first, maybe she was like, let bygones be bygones. I just don't want to be around you anymore. But I think that Nas is still being successful. The guy owns a restaurant. The guy just cashed in on an investment. The guy was dating Nicki Minaj. He has an album coming out. He has stayed balanced. He stayed steady. And I think that bothers her. Because she feels, I think she blames him for her career while nobody's checking for her. When she needs to look herself in the mirror. Why all these women want to blame everybody else for their failures? Instead of understanding, looking themselves in the mirror and saying what I could have fixed. Don't act like Nas just changed all of a sudden when you married him. Because at the end of the day, I think you thought you could do better than Nas when you broke up with him, and that didn't work. And I think every year that goes by, you become more and more bitter. This is why you're going back and forth. We constantly have to hear about this woman going back and forth to court, wanting more money to take care of her household because she can't financially do it. And you know what was really funny? The dude that was interviewing her, I guess he asked her what she's been up to, and she said she was busy. That made me laugh because we all know Kelis isn't that busy. We know that she ain't really making money like that. She can say she's making money, but she's not. This is why she doesn't do interviews, because I believe she's embarrassed because she hasn't really accomplished anything. She has a food truck. And I guess she caters parties or whatnot. And I heard that actually she's not doing that anymore because that didn't work out. And I just feel like this is a sad situation. You have a woman who's talented like Kelis, okay, who things just haven't worked out for her ever since she broke up with Nas. And she sees Nas, who hasn't put out music in a long time, who still financially has been able to stay, steady, Now, I saw in the comment section they were saying that some of Nas's exes before Kelis were talking about him possibly being abusive. Listen, Kelis is in those circles, If that was true, I don't think she would have been with him that long. I'm just saying. I think what happened was, I think both of them were at a low point because Nas wasn't as successful anymore. She wasn't as successful. And I think they argued and fought a lot because of that. But I don't think that this was a situation where he just was, abusive to her to the point to where, she's a battered woman. Because if you actually listen to this woman, she never once said that she was a victim. But of course, you're going to have people who are going to paint her as one. Because we all know in today's society, no matter what happens with a female, she's always a sympathetic figure. So, let me know in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts.